Girls, how are you? Let us revise our previous lesson and then we will continue to have more information about our new lesson. First, remember the question, explain why Huda can see the coin only when water has been added to the cup. Here she can't see the coin, but here she can. Why? Because there is the water. When the water is added, the light will be refracted to her eye, so she can see the coin. Let us answer questions, page 170. You had a homework, page 170. Question number 1. You look at a coin in a glass beaker. Its real depth is 10 centimeters. Is its real depth more than 10 centimeters or less than 10 centimeters? Remember, last time we said that there is an apparent depth. When you look at the things from above, you see things shallower and shorter. So it's shallower. Hello. In the question she says that, the question says that its real depth is 10 centimeter. The real depth is 10 centimeter. Okay? So they're asking the apparent depth is more or less. دائما الapparent depth is less than 10 centimeters. Okay? So this is the real depth. This is the apparent depth. The apparent depth is less than 10 centimeters. You have the answers here. Question 1, the apparent depth is less than 10 centimeters. Please correct this. The PowerPoint I sent to you, there's a mistake in this question. So I want you to correct it. This is the correct one. The apparent depth is less than 10 centimeters. Okay. The second question says that light refracts more when it travels between glass and air than when it travels between water and air. Yani when light goes from glass to air, it refracts more than when it goes from water to air. You look at a coin 20 centimeters under water. Its apparent depth is about 15 centimeter. The same coin is under the glass block, 20 centimeter thick. Is its apparent depth more than 15 centimeter, or less than 15 centimeter? Let us show this by drawing. This is water. Remember when we drew this? This is water. This is the coin. The light gets out from the coin and it refracts out, right? Now, we said the apparent depth is where the dotted line meet. Here, the question says that this is the apparent depth اللي هي 15 centimeters. طيب, go to the glass. They say that the thickness of the glass is 20 centimeters, exactly like the depth of the water. طيب, if you look at the glass, the coin is here. The real depth is 20 centimeters. They told us in the questions that the light refracts more when it goes from glass to air. So the light will move in straight lines and then it will refract a lot, comparing it when the light refracts from water. Now if it refracts more, so when the dotted line meet, as you can see in this picture, the dotted line meets shallower, nearer to the surface. So what do you think? These two pictures, as you can see, the glass apparent depth is less than the water apparent depth because it refracts more. The light, when it travels between the glass and the air, it refracts more. So the apparent depth is less than 15. You can find the answer here in the PowerPoint. The apparent depth inside the glass is less than 15 meters because light refracts more from glass to air than when it travels from water to glass. I want you to write this homework in your notebooks. Okay, so here there's a picture that shows that the apparent depth of glass is shallower than the apparent depth of water. But again, we are still revising. How do you see coin when you look from the top? We said shallower and shorter. How do you see things when you look from the side? Remember, we said nearer and at the same depth. طيب. Let us start answering these questions. When can you see the rainbow? I'm sure all of you saw the rainbow. When did you see it? And why? Now we can see it in a sunny and a rainy day. Now why? Because the sun ray, we said sunny, the sun gives light, and the rain, the drops of rain the light will hit the drops of rain and the light will enter the water, so it will refract. We will talk about this today in details. What are the colors of the rainbow? Remember, I'm sure you all know. It is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. These are the 7 colors. Rainbow has 7 colors. Okay? طيب. So imagine that this drop of rain, drop of water, when the light of the sun hits it, it will make like the block of the glass block. It will refract 2 times, exactly like we studied in the glass block. يعني the drops of water will act like the block of glass. The light will enters the water and it will be refracted 2 times. Okay? Okay, and when it refracts 2 times, we can see the rainbow. Okay, so today the new lesson is in page 172. We will talk about colored light. This is our lesson for today. In today's objectives, we will figure out how white light can be separated into colored light. We want to find out how does it happen. Figure out how to produce a spectrum and investigate the spectrum. I'm sure that, I don't know if you know what is a spectrum, we will learn it today. These are the new words for today. Dispersion, prism, diffraction grating, primary colors, secondary colors. Also, you have the spectrum. I forgot to write it. The spectrum is a new word for you. Okay, we will start with with objective number 1. We will figure out how white light can be separated into its constituent. Look at this prism. Have you ever seen a rainbow at home? شوفوا miss, I found it at home. شوفي the colors of the rainbow. It is because the light is refracted 2 times. I pasted here a link. I want you to copy it and go and find out the YouTube that shows how the light is refracted, how the white light becomes a rainbow. Okay, and a rainbow in science, it has another name. Okay, now I don't have this piece of glass or plastic that makes the rainbow gets out from the light white ray. You can find it at home, Miss. I think يعني from the chandelier you have, maybe can you see the rainbow? Now these crystals, if you have it at home, I'm sure you one time you saw it. These crystals will act as a prism. Exactly, miss, like this. Can you see it? This piece of glass or plastic is called prism. Now, what does the prism do? As you can see from the picture that it refracts the light 2 times. When the light is refracted 2 times, it will change its direction. It will move slower so we can see the rainbow. Okay, so here I have these 3 new words: prism, spectrum, dispersion. Okay, before I answer, I want you to stop the video and try to answer it by yourself. A transparent plastic or glass that refracts light twice, we called it prism. The splitting of white light into the spectrum of colors when one light, as you can see here, one light will split. This splitting, what is it called in science? We call it dispersion. Dispersion. The splitting of light into 7 constituents. The 7 colors, what are they called? Red, yellow, orange, and so on. These 7 colors in science, we call them spectrum. Spectrum. Yani when we used to be in grade 1, we call it rainbow. Now, in science, you are old enough to know that it is called spectrum. Now, the question is, how many times does the light refract in a prism? It refracts 2 times. And as you remember at the beginning of the video, I asked you why we can see the rainbow in a sunny and rainy day, because the drop of water will act as a prism and it will refract the light 2 times. When the light is refracted 2 times, it will make a spectrum. It will cause a dispersion, a splitting of light. Okay? طيب. This is one of the ways you can memorize, you have to memorize the order of the rainbow. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. ممكن تحفظوها بهذه الطريقة. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Or Richard of York gave battle in vain. Or you have a phrase here in your book. It says, where is it? Rinse out your greasy bottles in vinegar. Okay, so the first letters from each phrase, it shows one of the 7 colors of the spectrum. No more saying rainbow, it is a spectrum. Okay.